Hello everybody, Wabba Plays here with another video, and we're here to talk about the game SWAPMEAT with One More Games. I'm here with Jamie, founder of the studio. Thank you very much for joining us. Could you tell us a little bit about your title and why we're excited to play it at PAX East?
Well, it's the only game that lets you swap your meat with other guys. You know, like you defeat enemies, they drop. You want to start over?
No.
That's how the game works.
I believe you.
Yeah. So you defeat enemies, they drop body parts.
True.
You have body parts. You swap yours with theirs. You get their abilities. There's legs, a torso, and a head, and they give you movement abilities, attacks, and then it's also a third-person co-op roguelike shooter. So you and up to 3 of your friends can play.
So let me ask this. What is the most advantageous meat to swap with?
Well, it really depends on the context of the situation, right? So there are bosses where you have special meat that you want to swap to, and you always have to swap to that. But we also have like a faction of mutants. And one of my favorite meats in the game right now is the SWAT Daddy legs. The SWAT Daddy, they are space wrestlers in space. They're in space, of course. And so you hit shift, you shoot up into the air, you hit shift again, you come down, you butt slam everything around you, deals massive damage, and someone's at the boss. Oh my god. I've been waiting for this all day. Sorry. Yeah. He's got the SWAT Daddy, like the SWAT Daddy, so that's actually
So SWAT Daddy OP.
Yeah.
How did you come up with this concept? This is wild, the fact that we're talking about exchanging. How did this come to be?
Okay, so it was actually our art director had an idea. Summer 2023, we are looking for the next game that we want to build. We've historically built like free-to-play or competitive online games, and I wanted us to move into a space that is more like a game that respects your time. I don't want to give you another hobby. I don't want you to have to log in every day.
Yeah.
It is a Friday night. I want you to just have a game that you can play with your friends, get in the game, play for as long as you want, make some progress. You know, it's drop in, drop out, co-op. But we looked at the roguelite genre and we said, this is a rising tides genre, which basically means that, you know, if you have one roguelite game in your Steam library, you probably have more.
Yeah.
And you get a number of hours on them. So it looked like an audience that was really fun to work with. And we had a lot of people on my team, including me, that love these kinds of games. And so Jason had this idea from a prototype of a game that he was working on that was like a Contra-like, where you could you could die and turn into a little head and drill into another guy and take over his whole body. And so he had this idea already, and I think he called it meat mixing. That was his original name for it. And I'm pretty sure Jason came up with the name of the game too. So thought about that game and like how we would build it into a third-person co-op roguelite shooter, which we already knew we wanted to build. And then over a year, we just figured out what that was. Some of the hardest things though was like, how does health work? We knew we wanted you to lose body parts, but a roguelite, you have a health bar, and that is the whole attrition system. Like, it's important that you can't just constantly get health. And also, every time you swap body parts, that's like the goal of the game. It's how you get new powers and abilities. So we spent about a year until we finally figured out like the right way that works. That's a really long story.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, you know, this game is co-op. That's like something that's great. Like, what can you expect when playing with others in this?
So some of the first things that is like, regardless of how far your friend is in the game or how far behind or far you are, you can drop into anyone's game and play with them. It levels you up as soon as you log in, as soon as you drop into the game. You pick all your upgrades. If you beat something further in the story with your friends, you'll get credit for it. And you go back to your ship. That'll be completed, but you'll still be where you are in the game. It was inspired really heavily by Diablo 2's progression system there.
Best one.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, we have this benefit where we're not an RPG, so I don't need to worry about you being level 10 and me being level 50. But it gives you this non-linear cooperative progression system where I can go make meaningful progress with you if you're further, and then go back to my game and then go beat the Den of Evil and get my skill point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
So last question is, what makes this different from all the others? You know, what would you tell people who are taking a look at all these different, roguelikes? What makes this stand out the most?
Well, I mean, obviously the biggest thing is our combat system. It's the only game on the entire floor, and any game that you can talk about where you're getting like this dynamic hero creation where you're swapping body parts with other enemies, right? That's obviously on the surface the number one thing. We also have a campaign. that plays out a number of acts. I think my team is humorous. They tell me I'm funny, but
so you got me with some of the opening lines.
So like we put a lot of love and care into the things that we make. There's a lot of just humanity and humor in the names of the things that you're going to encounter. The Spot Daddy, the Glizzy Gliders, the Doppelgazers, the Franken Beans, right? And so there's just a lot of humor there, and there's a story that goes along the campaign. We're not ready to talk about that today, but it is inspired by Rick and Morty, Tim and Eric. I Think You Should Leave.
Yeah. Oh,
the humor of the team really comes through. Jason, our art director, is the voice of the main, like the Deckard Cain of the game, which is named Carl Rangus. He's a head in a jar.
Rangus sounds like your next D&D character.
Yeah. But there's a lot of humor there. And then, we know that great roguelites have like a looping mechanic. We're still working on this design for that. We're not even playing it internally yet, but we hope that the mechanics of the game, the speed of the combat, and just playing should be fun. Again, I don't want you logging in for daily chores. Just sit down with your friends, beat the campaign, loop, have a good time.
Excellent. When can folks expect to be able to play SWAPMEAT, and where would they be able to find it?
So right now we're going to launch on PC and Mac OS. You can play on PC, Mac OS in 7 days. On May 15th, we're running a public test. So it's still in play testing. We will have an updated build that is even being played here today. Sign up at playswapmeat.com. It'll run from the 15th to the 22nd, so you have a whole week to play. Join us in Discord. We're just SWAPMEAT on Discord. Come chat with us. I'm Stormbreaker in there. No announcement yet for early access or launch, but we're focused on this public testing phase because we get the most out of how to improve the game by watching people play it, and that's why we play. We develop with no NDA.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Looking forward. Get ready to swap your beat in the upcoming weeks. Thank you very much.